Hey everybody, it's Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we're back at the virtual spinner rack for another episode of OK Boomer. We are in part 2 of a 3-part adventure for the first appearance of Galactus and Silver Surfer. But before we get into the mix, we're going to give a big shout out to our sponsor, SpinWizComics.com. SpinWiz Comics is a webcomic and indie comic discovery platform. You can download the app on both iOS and Android completely free, with plenty of free comics to read on the app. And here's just a little look of what it looks like. There's over 86 different indie publishers on the platform right now with well over 400 titles. Go check it out for yourself. Over 400 titles to read, and just about all of them are free to read. And there is also a bonus to that. They have a loyalty program for every page of comics you read. They enter you in, as long as you're logged into the app, for a drawing for monthly, quarterly, and annual giveaways. SpinWizComics.com. If you don't have the app, what are you waiting for? The link is both in the chat and in the show notes, either up above or down below, depending on where you're watching us. Download the app, check it out for yourselves. Give them a review. We're trying to get them up to 100 downloads before the end of this month. But right now, we're going to jump into Fantastic Four, number 49.
49. Yeah, this is where the rubber meets the road issue, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, as we remember last time, it just kind of stops at the end. Galactus is on the building. And I know we were talking about it before after this awesome cover, which I think is actually maybe more famous than the other cover. I don't know. Because they did, remember a couple years ago when they did the FF Omnibus #2?
Yeah.
And, Ross did a reprint of this, or a repainting, whatever you want to call it, his own version of this cover.
A homage.
Yep, homage. That's the word I was looking for.
I'm gonna do a homage. I'm gonna take this cover and I'm gonna put it on a light up drawing disc, and I'm going to embellish my art over the original Kirby. I think I actually had this image on a t-shirt when I was in high school too.
Really? I didn't know they put it on the t-shirt. I found I actually was looking for, after we talked about it last week, the Galactus poster. I actually went and looked to see if I could find the Blacklight poster. I could not find the Blacklight poster, but I did send it to the group earlier, and I'll tell everybody to look it out. Mondo has a very cool Galactus poster.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I mean, holy God, that was good, man.
Speaking of Mondo, sometime in the near future, we have to figure out this really cool-ass tabletop game, an original game from Mondo. They get some great games over there. I was checking them out, and I'm like, oh, man, I got to, hit the lottery or, hope that we, see a new stimulus check,
soon.
Yeah, sometime in the near future.
Has a lot of cool stuff.
So yeah, they got a ton of cool stuff, but most of their stuff sells out. Like, before you're going through and you're like, should I buy it? Should I buy it? I probably shouldn't buy this. I'm buying this. And by the time you type all your information in and you click buy,
it's sold out.
Sold out. I'm like, Summoner. But yeah, this game looks pretty cool. So sometime before the end of the month, we'll have to do kind of like an unboxing. We'll do a dual unboxing video, and we'll get the thing set up, and we'll play the beginning of a round, and see how it goes, because it looks pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it looks like a really high quality game.
It's heavy as hell too.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God! I'm like, if somebody broke in my house and I'm in my recliner, I'm gonna reach for that game box and just whack them upside the head.
Perfect home defense.
Boom! Better than throwing a dictionary. So let's jump right into this and see what's going on.
All right.
Uh-oh. Didn't he just shave last issue?
No. He shaves in a minute. Because we're actually talk about that in the last issue. He was all clean shaven, and then shortly after he gets back from fighting the Inhumans, and just a brief amount of time, all of a sudden he's got a full beard on.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does shave in here. I thought for some reason that happened like last issue.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because I'd read forward a little bit last issue, and I was like, don't Galactus and the Watcher meet? And it's actually in this issue. But yeah, like I said, so they're just they're on the top of the Baxter building, essentially watching Galactus and the Watcher as they approach. For all those who missed last issue, this is a Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott, and was it Sal Rosen?
Yeah, Cy Rosen.
This is their creative talents are the ones that have brought us this. Really, probably the ace of the bullpen at this time.
Yeah, Cy, like Uncle Cy from Duck Dynasty, only different.
Yep. Dang it.
I don't think he was that crazy.
But yeah, it's funny. They're all sitting here talking, watching, and boom, there it is. So Galactus and the Watcher approach each other. I don't think they ever show the Watcher as this big again. He gets smaller after this, I think.
Yeah.
But his head gets bigger.
They make him more. He's still big, but he doesn't look like a big fat baby.
Yeah, he is kind of chubby in this one.
Yeah, he looks like me.
He looks like you. But I did put in another before the show. I went in and added a picture because it kind of shocked me when I got to here, and we see our Galactus and the Watcher are talking as the rest of the FF look on, and Galactus knows that the Watcher is the one that is hiding the Earth from him. But hold on, we're gonna go back. That's what he looked like the last.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I'm like,
what the hell? I mean, did they not? I guess they just, okay. So the very last issue of Pad 48, he's in damn Christmas colors. He's Santa Galactus, but you all were bad, so you don't get nothing.
And it's I look at that and then I look at the other picture before you went back to this. I'm like, he's in different colors.
Yeah, it's completely different.
It's almost like last issue. Galactus looked at me and said, "I'm gonna fix that fat bastard from OK Boomer, and I'm gonna change the colors on my costume." I'm gonna do a Todd McFarlane repaint for next issue.
It's funny too because he's even here. Look, he's got pants. Mm-hmm. He's wearing pants, and now he's sporting.
Whoa! Easy there, buddy.
He's wearing a kilt.
Must be a cold day.
It's a complete change. But hey, back in the early '60s, man, when Marvel was hot, they could do this kind of stuff. And then they explain it later. I don't think they ever explained Galactus's uniform change. And later on, they even dropped the red. It's just all purple now. But I kind of dig the red and the purple. It's classy. The white, I don't know. The white on the big G kind of stands out a little bit too much. But the red and the purple are good. But yeah, and then he's got short sleeves and he's wearing a kilt, and then now it's all long sleeves and he's wearing long pants.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got the short sleeves and the kilt on now because Man, it gets hot in New York in the summertime.
Is that what it is? If he had landed in Greenland, he would have worn the long sleeves and the pants.
Mm-hmm.
But so he confronts the Watcher, and the Watcher's, hey, you can't destroy this world because it's full of sentient life on it. And I just love Galactus, even in here. He's, what important are the brief, are the what important are brief nameless lives to Galactus? He just doesn't care.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care. I'm hungry.
I actually could not remember. I knew that he his little machine he makes, takes the energy from the Earth and converts it into something he can use. Mm-hmm. But they actually, as we get through later on this story, everybody will see, they actually explain what it does. And I was like, oh, that's not nice. It's not good at all.
Well, did you expect it to be nice?
Well, I mean, hey, at least, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was like, damn, that's terrible. Man, this is so good, though. And we were talking about this a couple issues ago. When we were doing it, the big giant panels of dialogue. There it is.
Oh yeah, it's like, this page takes you about like 20 minutes to get through, but it's so good you don't care.
Yeah, and the thing is that, what is it? People have talked about it before. Is Galactus really evil, or is he good, or whatever? They actually talk about it briefly in here, and he says, right here, for those not familiar, it's not my intention to injure any living being, but I must replenish my energy. If petty creatures are wiped out when I drain a planet, it's regrettable but unavoidable. He could maybe find something else, but this is the first diner he came to.
You just got me thinking. I'm like, oh, thank goodness he's wearing tighty whities today. Ain't nothing hanging out of the kilt.
It is. It's a freaking kilt. It's even got the front.
It's a kilt. Look, that's a freaking mini skirt right there.
It was the 60s. Remember a Star Trek on the 60s?
That's why I like that show.
Yeoman Rand, how are you today?
Well, now.
Wish I had.
Oh, my.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so good. Ben takes us, it's clobbering time once again, and he takes the biggest swing he can, at Galactus's, foot, because that's how big he is.
That's all he could get to, exactly.
Ben doesn't come up over his shins. He hits him, and then this automatic little green flash grenade bomb goes off.
Yeah.
And it's set to, put them all down like a bunch of cockroaches.
It's poison. Yeah, that's exactly what Reed says. Ben gets it all in his face, so Reed has to save his ass. And I guess he's got his eyes closed, and Sue, calls for him to come and, hey, get this way. And they get in there, and, while they're hauling butt, Johnny decides he's going to take him on by himself. Really? Yeah. Johnny, this doesn't make any sense. The thing that's cool here, though, we talk about the big punch, his biggest punch. I love back in the day when they did this kind of stuff. He says, not only is his biggest punch, it's his extra special Sunday punch. This one's only for Sundays.
Well, that's something special. You saved that one up all week.
Exactly. He had to save it up all week.
It's the kind of Sunday punch you give to the one guy that comes to your house that's always rooting for the other team. And after a certain amount of adult beverages, you just screw it and you let it go. That's the Sunday punch.
Damn it. So there goes Johnny at him. And what's funny is, like I said, he just saw the FF get, most of the FF getting their clock cleaned.
Yep.
And he flies.
It takes Ben down right away. Reed rolls over him, and then
Sue just hauls butt down into the little doorway here.
And
the
she's like,
skylight or whatever.
she's like, I'll see ya.
Yeah.
Come this way, Reed. You need to shave.
Yeah. Follow the sound of my voice. Straight ahead, darling.
Yeah, and old hothead goes after Galactus. I got this. No, you don't.
No, he frags him. He's like burning him up, and Galactus
And nothing.
And then he redirects all the power back on him.
Yeah, he just like shoots him out with his eye beams, and it explains in these multiple bubbles, you know, what he's doing. He's moving the aura of his human torchness,
yeah,
closer to his body, so he can't breathe. It's putting him out at the same time that it's covering him up with soot.
Yeah, it just he smolders out.
Yeah,
and
it's all smoldered out. Yeah,
and that's why he looks dirty now.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes, while they're doing all that, the Watcher's like, you know, there's nothing you can do here. You know, he just tells him, he says, Johnny, go see the other ones. There's nothing you can do. I'm gonna try and talk to Galactus, but it's not gonna work.
Storm, you're in a timeout.
Yeah. But then the thing that's funny is, you know, remember Silver Surfer was in their last issue, and even Galactus here asks, you know, where is my Herald? Where is the Silver Surfer?
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, the next page is where we find out.
Yep.
But when Johnny shows up, this is where Reed decides to shave again, you know, to get rid of that 2-hour stubble he had.
Yeah, it's like, I shaved 45 minutes ago and it's already back. Well, just grow the beard. At some point, we know Walt Simons is going to draw this book. It'll just fit in perfectly.
Dude, Walt Simonson was so good.
Oh, yeah. I loved his work. He was my favorite guy that worked on Thor.
Yeah, easily. I mean, he's one of the greatest Thor, and I've been collecting a lot of his runs. I've begotten he did the Thor, FF, and X Factor.
Yeah. I was collecting his Thor run like late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
But, you know, Johnny comes in.
You picked up 50? John picked up 50.
Good. John, you should join us on the program next week.
Yeah. I don't have a 50. I've got a 48 and a 49. I don't have a 50. I'm trying to get one. We had what was it? Your buddy was on a couple weeks ago, and he said that a lot of people were saying that 48, 49, and 50 were the holy grail of comics, the Trinity of comics.
Oh yeah. Well, it's, you know, first appearance of Surfer, first appearance of Galactus.
Yeah.
First appearance of Reed's beard.
There's actually another first appearance of a character in here that I didn't even know existed. I found out today when I was reading this. And I may have read this years ago, but I forgot. But reading it again, we'll get to him in a minute, and I was like, who is this dude? You know what I'm talking about?
I'll have to see, because I read like half of it this morning. Well, between last night and this morning. And then I read like the last, 8 pages tonight after I got off the phone with my daughter.
Oh, all right. So we'll get to it in just a sec then.
We'll get to it. But, we got Alicia Masters. I owned all 3 several times. First set cost me less than 20 and fine.
Damn.
Yeah, ain't that a bitch?
Yeah. Man. Yeah, you ain't getting them in 20 now.
I'm pretty sure there was, there's some zeros added onto that price for today,
Yes. Yes. So, but here's while Galactus is wondering what happens to Surfer, here's Surfer, who, even though he really wasn't hurt, is just like laying like he's knocked out on top of a skylight window, which he falls through, and it just happens to be Alicia's skylight.
Okay, Boomer.
Exactly. But it's funny that he falls through her skylight, and she goes over and tries to see what the hell's going on. Because if for those who don't know, Alicia is Ben's longtime girlfriend and later Johnny's girlfriend. And I actually think doesn't Johnny and Alicia get married later?
Oh, I can't remember right now.
I know they date and then they break up again. So she gets kind of passed back and forth between Johnny and Ben for a little bit. She's married to Ben now in current continuity.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's blind and she's a sculptress and can't see.
And
that was one of
her father is the puppet master.
Yes, the evil puppet master. Yep.
Have you ever met a good puppet master?
No, not really. But
not including ventriloquists.
Ventriloquists.
And I mean, what are the odds that an alien lands on your skylight, falls through the skylight, and lands perfectly on the couch?
Yeah, exactly. Johnny married Crystal. Okay, so he just dated Alicia for some time. Okay.
See, we just needed somebody older than us, John, to tell us our mistakes here.
I did share, actually, now he reminded me, I did share that sometime, where Crystal actually goes back to the FF and talks to Sue Storm about Johnny. But yeah, so she goes and feels his face and says that, he doesn't feel like lonely, and she can, normal human, and this is, supreme loneliness and all this, and feels his nobility. And how you get all that from feeling his face, I don't understand, but she does.
Well, she's been around, superheroes a long time.
Yeah, only face she's been feeling other than Johnny's later on is, Ben Grimm's, and his ugly mug is like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
But so she offers him some food to eat. This is kind of funny. This next
and then
so
he offers her the food, but then we'll get back to them because, of course, we got to flip the page and go to.
We go back to where we were at.
We got to go back to the Baxter Building, and we see this giant, incredible machination that's floating around and being built over the top of the Baxter Building.
Yeah, and that's what's cool. He says, he's just all of the stuff that he needs to build his machine to siphon off the energy from the Earth is in the spaceship, and he just assembles it.
Yeah, he just kind of like waves his arms around, and it just glides down and basically puts itself together. He's controlling it somehow, but
yeah. And then they go to so the remaining the three FFs minus Johnny are going to go and confront Galactus again, and the Watcher stops them. And this is where he
is it me, or does the Watcher in that last panel look kind of like the Christ statue in Rio de Janeiro?
A little bit, yeah. Christ the Redeemer.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah, big old the Watcher wants to stop him, and Reed has to tell Ben to calm down again because Ben's always wanting to jump into fights. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is where we learn how the machine is going to destroy the Earth and take the power from it.
Oh yeah, Utu calls up his magic mirror and not only tells but shows him images of another planet, similar to Earth, and what will happen.
Yeah. The thing is like I said, it within minutes, he says it will, convert all of the water to elemental energy. It just will dry the oceans up completely.
It'll dry the oceans, and then go from there, drill to the center of the Earth. It'll remove the magma core of the planet.
Yeah, everything.
How hungry does this guy have to be?
Well, I mean, he didn't eat breakfast.
Somebody open a wing joint. Come on.
A wing joint.
That'd be some big wings, but Flintstones.
In Flintstone wings, like the big rack of ribs on the side of the car.
Yeah.
And he's going to leave it, and that's it.
And and what's left will just crumble to space dust.
Yeah, because there won't be anything left. But so all the rest of them are talking with the Watcher, and they're upset. They're like, "Well, you got all these plans, and you're telling us all this, but you don't let us know how to stop you." And I love how the Watcher's like, well, I'm not supposed to get involved, but so I'm going to get involved and let you know what to do to stop him. But you have to do it. I can't do it, and I need the Human Torch.
Yeah. He can't physically do it, but he can inform them, even though he's not even supposed to do that.
No,
but
he's not.
He does not. He just doesn't want to see the entire planet, with billions of people just like destroyed for Galactus to feed.
All right, this is a not off topic, but we're talking about this. I know we read Silver Surfer 4. I think it was one of our first books we ever did. And it had backup Watcher stories in there. But I don't know if you ever read Silver Surfer 1 and read the backup story in it. Because it explains why the Watcher refuses to get involved.
I read Silver Surfer 1, but I don't think I read the backup story. Or if I did, I'm just like foggy on it.
All right. Well, in that book, he talks about it. The Watcher's people, they were like the first people in the universe to develop, atomic power and faster than light space travel and all this. And they make it to another planet, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to give you all of this knowledge, and then you can share the universe with us and all this." Well, the people weren't ready for the knowledge, so when they give them the atomic power and faster and all that stuff, that race, whatever unknown race it is, actually uses the atomic power to destroy themselves. And when the Watchers come back to see how they're doing after they give them the stuff, the world is decimated. And then they say, "Okay, from this point on, we don't get involved. We don't give nobody no technology. We don't do anything." And that's why they don't want to get involved.
So they pulled that little Star Trek thing.
Yeah, they violated the Prime Directive completely.
Oh yeah. It's like, you can't do that. You don't even look like Kirk.
Yeah.
And now we're back to Alicia's apartment, where the Surfer is basically chastising her for eating when she should just be using her power cosmic to turn all these morsels into energy, since that is the purest form of sustenance. But
yeah, and then you won't waste anything.
Yeah, but we don't want to eat energy. I don't think we, not that way.
No. Or those little cubes that they served us in Star Trek. The thing that's funny about this page is you get, the Surfer doing all this. And this is probably the most important page in the book. Because right here is where he says he can destroy is merely a word, change it to energy. That's what Galactus does. And Alicia gets upset and starts beating on him. She's like, "No, we're all living beings, every bird, every beast. The world is ours. Perhaps you're not as powerful as your Galactus, but we have hearts, we have souls. I can't feel." And she actually kind of changes the Surfer. He starts to think, maybe I'm not doing the right thing.
Yeah, she starts to turn him, and then when he gets ready to leave, he's thinking that maybe I finally found something to defend.
Yeah, exactly. Something to defend, something to stop Galactus from doing this, because we don't know how many worlds he's done it to. And then he looks, she shows him the window, at all the people screaming and hollering. And that's when he's, I've got to maybe protect people. And Galactus is by this point has actually got his machine together, and when he makes contact here is when it's supposed to start draining the Earths. But when he makes contact,
Nothing.
nothing happens. Nothing. And he gets a little pissed off.
Oh yeah. What's he say? In over a millennia, this has never failed.
Never, yeah, never in 1,000 millennia. Never. Why? Why?
Oh, that's even longer.
Exactly. And then we find out why.
Ben's breaking the antenna.
Yep, he's breaking the top, and then he rams him with it like a damn, like
a telephone pole,
like a telephone pole or a lance, and manages to knock him off the side of the building. And
they're thinking he's going to crush the crowd underneath.
Yeah.
And then we go to the next page and be like, oh yeah.
No, he's just floating. He stops. He's floating in the air. Now, see here, I knew Galactus and Silver Surfer. And, you got Galactus, Silver Surfer. You got Fire Lord, the Wind Walker. How many other heralds is he got? Terrax. But the thing is there he is floating in the air. He gets mad. The time has come to rid myself of petty nuisances, and he calls a spaceship. He says, "Let the Punisher appear." Where in the hell did this guy come from?
And why doesn't he look like Frank Castle?
Yeah, he looks nothing like Frank Castle.
No, not at all. He's some funky alien. He's got like almost a MODOK looking face, and limbs of a frog.
And then it's like he's cyborg body too, or something.
And some kind of cyborg body, and he's got like a 38 Studebaker on his head for a helmet. Did we miss a page? No. Okay. So here comes the Punisher out of the spaceship, and then when we turn the page, now we're back inside the Baxter building, and Johnny's trying to get up there and help him, and instead, the Watcher decides to send him on a space trip. Yeah, Utu is preparing him, telling him, how bad this experience is going to be.
But yeah, he just sends him across the universe.
Sends him in a different time too.
Yeah, because he does say time travel, doesn't he? Yeah, you're traveling far, far back to the center of infinity. But the Watcher is at your side. That's a really cool panel, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that really is. You could see that does look like he's being transported or something.
That's like the first mind-blown emoji or something.
Yeah. Crazy. And so he transfers Johnny Storm back to timeless infinity to find something. And this is
I think he found it.
Yeah, he finds it. As he has to fly through all these little loop-de-loops and everything, and then he gets to Galactus's home space station, which is this gigantic Mobius-looking coil thing with all this other stuff.
Oh yeah, and it's just weird because it's like around the solar system. So this is going back to Galactus's people before he wasn't just the only one left.
Yep. But seeing the thing about that is that actually we follow continuity. That is before the Fantastic Four universe. And then boom. So we leave Johnny, and here comes this little short ass pudgy Punisher dude who lands and then lays into the freaking FF.
Oh yeah, he's a lot stronger than he looks, and he's a lot quicker. Ben says he can't even see his punches, but he's landing them, and then Ben hits him with another Sunday's best there.
Yeah, it gets a lucky shot on him, and then so now Ben tries to pick him up, but his little feet are actually holding onto the wall or the floor there, so they tear it up. Then Reed tries to hold him back, and I couldn't figure this out, but I mean, I understand it. But he says all of a sudden he tripled his power, and he just slings them off.
Well, because the page before, Ben had said that he's landing so many punches and he's punching so fast that it was just a blur to him. And now he's picking up a little steam here, and he's just going a little crazy.
Oh yeah, well he lays into it, and Reed gets back into Sue's force field, and she tells Ben to fall back, or Reed tells Ben to fall back, and he finally does, and then the Punisher just keeps laying into the force field.
Yeah, Ben wants to go back, but Reed yells at him. It's like, your pride isn't worth us dying in this very instant. Keep the force field up. And of course, Reed, a smart guy that he is, was correct when he said that Galactus has no idea how long Sue can keep the force field up for. So he calls his little Froggy the Gremlin Punisher off, and sends him back to the doghouse.
Yeah, and I think that's really kind of cool. But I didn't know that Galactus had backup muscle. Not that he needed it, but he had backup muscle.
He just didn't want to be bothered, so he could fix the machine that Ben had damaged.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all that dude was there for. And then he goes back to the ship.
Occupy them so I can get shit done.
That's what people say about their kids all the time.
Hey, Pat's back. Any idea if Reed Richards or Plastic Man Marvel came first?
No, Plastic Man's way older than Reed Richards.
Yeah,
Plastic Man's from like 1941.
Plastic Man predates both DC and Marvel.
Yeah. Plastic Man's actually from Crime Comics, isn't it? Crime Doesn't Pay or something like that.
Yeah. Crime Comics way back in the day, and at some point, DC acquired them.
Yeah. In the mid to early 60s, when they were buying everybody, when they bought them and Fawcett and Charlton and who the hell else they bought. They bought anything that wasn't nailed down.
Well, they bought Fawcett because
Captain Marvel.
They wanted Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel was outselling Superman and was going to put him out of business.
Yeah. Yep. Enough so that they actually had they filed a lawsuit. No problem, dude. Oh crap! Is that the end of the issue already?
Almost. Not quite.
So he calls him, and then we get to the last page then, and there's Silver Surfer is going to fly off after he talks to Alicia, and he says, perhaps you're not wrong, and I can find something worth protecting and turn against Galactus and test his powers. And the Watcher's like, this is something I haven't foreseen.
Mm-hmm.
And then next issue, don't miss our staggering conclusion. Yeah, I did not realize this was the actual full 3 issues for this whole storyline.
Until last week when I said, "Oh, well, you know me, I can't just leave a story in like the middle."
No, and the thing is 50 is the big, 49 is kind of where like I said, where the rubber hits the road, but 50 we know what's going to happen here, but we haven't read it for all our 2-3 watchers. But that's where Silver Surfer's at.
John read it the other day. As soon as he bought it, he probably got in his truck and opened it up and read it before he even left the parking lot.
Yeah.
Unless it was a mail call, then he just went downstairs and went inside and relaxed and.
But yeah, so coming up, we know Surfer and Galactus are going to get into a fight. We kind of know how that ends, but it's like, man, Pat said he found the Starlog issues.
Found that Starlog back issue website. It's awesome. Works best with a tablet. Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
Glad we could be of help.
Try.
So here we are, over a barrel again till next week. Excelsior! I can't say it right.
No,
but
no one can. But yeah,
no one can but Stan. Speaking of Stan, as I'm always talking, because I grew up. Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Time Capsule is a local comic shop in our area.
Oh, is it? Cool.
They have one location in my state, and they have another location in John's state.
You're in Massachusetts. What state's John in?
John's in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
And they were part of the team up of stores that got together on the 12th of last month to celebrate Free Comic Book Day on one day instead of just putting out the free issues as they came in over the months.
Yes, sir.
With stuff coming back, so it was it was kind of like a combined advertising and event between I guess close to 4 or 5 different comic shops in the area.
Things are slowly starting to come back. I saw that somewhere up north, it may have been toward you. They're going to actually have a comic convention this weekend. I think it is a small one.
Oh, is that the Jersey one?
It may be.
I saw it advertised. I'm like, sure they will. I've seen all the crap their governor's done. Let's see. Oh, I missed it. Awesome. See you guys next week. Good thoughts for us in the hurricane. Ooh, a hurricane hit this morning. Oh, well, be careful and stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Don't let your comic books get wet.
Exactly.
50-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, that's siding coming off houses.
It's not meant to stay under in that stuff.
No, it's not, but it does. But so overall, I mean, this is a great issue. Like I said, the art's really good. Some of it kind of threw me for a loop. Like I said, the big one is the very beginning, man. I just couldn't believe that they changed the suit so radically from that to this purple and red.
Well, when they dry off, you got wood for the fire pit, Pat. A socially distanced fire pit.
He's outside. He's okay.
Oh yeah, you're outside. You're fine. So yeah, there's the old colors, and boom, here's the new colors.
Yeah.
There we go. He was like.
Well, see, it makes me wonder because they changed Hulk because the gray was so inconsistent, and that's why they went to green in the second issue. Well, I don't know why the purple and red looks better to me than the Christmas green and red. But it's just such a big change in between those two pages. Of course, with a month difference, people probably didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed it. I would have just been glad to have,
Yeah, back in the day, I got a new issue.
I got a new comic to read. Go away.
Yeah, but yeah, when you read them like this, it's just kind of startling. Well, wow. But yeah, we'll get back next week and do 50, and then after that we'll do something else.
Yep, we'll do something besides the first family of Marvel. But this is a perfect arc to see all the way through. The big 5-0 next week, and then we will carry on. Until then, make sure you check out our sponsor for this video, SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. You can find their free downloadable app for iOS or Android, and you can read yourself some free comics. Go check it out. We're trying to get them up to 100 downloads by the end of the month, and some nice 5-star ratings as well. As you were saying, Thomas?
Oh, I was waiting for you to finish. Oh God. Now I remember. Yeah, next issue is 50, and what's amazing, you think about everything that has happened in this series before we get to here, and Stan and Jack still have another 50 issues after this.
Yeah, the first 100. It's gonna be in with like all my other stuff, but I remember buying CD-ROMs from my comic shop. You too, John. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks, man.
Have a good night.
You had the first 100 on there?
No, it was I bought a Star Trek one, which has every Star Trek comic from Gold Key up through the Marvel and DCs.
Huh.
And I bought the Spider-Man one, had like the first 500. I think Spider-Man and Fantastic Four both had like the first 400 issues.
Oh, sweet. I've got one like that myself, and I've got the first, I can't remember, 100 issues of Hulk or something like that on it.
I've got the first Hulk omnibus.
Cool.
It's got like a ridiculous amount of Hulk in there, and there's more issues than you can count with a stick, because I think they start with the previous appearances and like Tales of Suspense and Astonish. Yeah. They do Astonish and whatever else and in between, and then they pick up at 102 and go from there.
Here's I guess this would be a Boomer thing, because this is an old set of reprints for those listening. Did you like the Star Trek books when you were reading them?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't have them on disc, but I've got them all reprinted. The Gold Key stuff anyway, the really, the Silver Age stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I have them, and I found them years ago at a convention, and I bought them for next to nothing. But there's a publisher called Checker Publishing. I don't know if you've heard of them. Okay. Checker Publishing reprinted them. They're on really high quality paper and all that. But what's amazing about them is, how, like, you look at this Fantastic Four, we're looking at 49 here. This is beautiful. All the colors are perfect. Everything's nice and even. It's all been remastered, redone, recolored, and all that crap. When Checker reprinted the original Gold Keys, they did nothing. They just reprinted them. They just scanned the books and printed them. They didn't correct the images. They didn't correct the printing. Nothing. It's like reading a 50-year-old comic book.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. Only on a little bit better paper. Because part of the, the thing that makes makes reading old comics like that so good is the fact that the coloring isn't perfect, and some of the imperfections really just add to the book. But yeah. So I'll get the book to you, and then we'll get it over next week, and be back next Thursday.
If that works for you, yeah.
That sounds good, man.
Okay, until next week, this is Will.
This is Thomas.
And we'll see you next week at the virtual spinner rack right here on OK Boomer.